Hey there, and welcome to the Hey Kahla Podcast. I am your host, Kayla Evans, and I'm feeling super pumped to record this episode because right now I am fresh from not one, not two, but three different dollar stores, which are honestly probably my favorite places to shop. And I was picking up party goodies for this weekend. So I've got sparklers. I've got cake decorating doodles. I've got party hats, and I am ready to roll because this weekend I am planning on celebrating the second anniversary. That's 2 years of Hey Kahla Media, which of course is my public speaking and confidence coaching company. And I am beyond freaking proud. And if you've been with me here for a minute, you know that I love a good celebration to not only obviously celebrate and congratulate ourselves for how far we've come, but to also motivate us to keep going. And I mean, honestly, there's like enough doom and gloom out there. So I like any excuse really to have a party. So I got a bunch of goodies. I've got plans to make a cake. I've got a bottle of champagne chilling, and I plan on heading over to my mama's for a little celebration because my mom is not only like my best friend and my biggest supporter, cheesy, yes, but true, but she's also the unpaid CEO of my company. And quite honestly, if I want this cake to taste and look somewhat decent, I definitely need to bring the mama in. So that's a big plan for right now. And for this episode, I was thinking I really want to do something to commemorate these last 2 years. Like, that's huge to me. Sticking 2 years with anything, I think, is a pretty massive accomplishment. And honestly, my company, which allows me really at the end of the day to live my life's purpose and the way that I'm able to help people the way I do, to feel better about themselves and more confident and comfortable in who they are so that they can go out there and do the things they want to do. Like, that's my favorite thing in the whole world. And I really don't take that lightly. So I really want to mark that with this episode somehow. And a lot of the entrepreneurs I follow, they do like the biggest lessons I've learned so far, or my top 5 over the last 5 years, that kind of thing. And while I love that, I really just don't feel like doing that. A, because I've just learned too many things this year alone, and I would really have no idea where to even start that list. And B, because I'm still learning a ton, like every single day. So I've decided that I'm going to do 2 things for 2 years. And number one, the first thing I'm doing is I'm actually hosting my very first 100% on my own workshop. Yeah. It is called the Illuminate Your Magic. No, hang on. Let me do that again. Illuminate Your Inner Magic Masterclass. Uncover the spark that makes you you, feel confident in who you are, and start showing up in the way that only you can. And that's really just a beautiful way of saying that it's a confidence building workshop. It's coming up on September 26th at Table Space. Thursday, September 26th. Thursdays are my day. I was born on a Thursday. It's Jupiter's day. It's a Sagittarius day. So Thursdays are my day. And even though my technical business anniversary is September 10th, we're doing it on the 26th because that just lines up perfectly with my schedule and Table Space's schedule. And this is huge for me because I've never actually run anything on my own in terms of a workshop or seminar. Like, I've always been called into a workplace or asked to speak to a group of people or been lecturing at a university. Like, I've never done anything 100% completely on my own. And that's just huge to me. Also, it's hitting me that this is something that I have 100% total control and freedom over. Like, every time I go to speak to somebody, it's tailored to their group or their workplace or their curriculum, which is amazing. And I love that. And that obviously makes sense for what I do. But I'm just kind of fitting in and around somebody else's outline or needs. So this is a chance for me to be able to go like completely wild, but like wild in a good way. So I'm super excited. And again, the Illuminate Your Inner Magic Masterclass, I do have it linked in the show notes. If you want to get your tickets, they're $44. It's going to be about 90 minutes. And we're going to be doing some tapping, some meditation. There's a workbook, which maybe sounds scary, but it's really a lot of fun that we're going to go through together. And it's just going to be a really awesome time to hang out and really start to really unearth that confidence, right? And build it up within yourself. So that's the number one thing I'm doing to celebrate. And number 2, for the podcast here, I thought that I would share something here that I've never actually shared with anyone ever before, like not even my mama. And it's this exercise that I absolutely love. And it works for me literally in every situation in my life. So I'm going to share it here in hopes that it can help you too. So I don't really have a good name for it. It's kind of like my guiding principle, if you will. It's the number one thing that puts me or keeps me in alignment. And hopefully when I start to tell this story, it's going to make sense. So just stick with me here. What I want you to do is close your eyes, if it's safe for you to do so. And I want you to picture your biggest dream moment, the biggest wish or the biggest goal, or like the number one thing that you want to come true. Like picture that moment, the environment where you are, the location, where are you? How do you look? What you're wearing, what your hair looks like. I want you to look around you. Like, who are the people with you in that moment? Is there music playing? Are there any specific smells? Like, whatever your biggest, juiciest, dreamiest moment is, I want you to picture that. And I want you to hold that in your head. And for example, like me, it's my book launch party. I know the exact venue. I know the dress I'm going to find. I know how my hair is going to look. I know who's going to be at that party. And that image, like that's my guiding principle. It's the number one thing that not only drives me to keep going when things get tough, but it's a thing that really helps me when it comes to making decisions. I did a podcast episode a little while ago about, I don't believe that there's a right or wrong decision. You just make a decision based on what you believe to be the best at that time. Well, this is actually the thing that makes me make decisions, if that makes sense. And what I do is I try to say no to everything that won't get me closer to that moment. So for example, let's say I sit down in my office, I'm working away, and I have an opportunity maybe to bring back my online course, Own It, or launch a product line. I want to do both of those things, but not right now. That isn't what I want in my big vision. So I'm not going to work on that stuff right now. Instead, I'm actually going to work on my book, right? So if I sit down, I don't really know what to work on today or where to put my focus. My focus automatically is on that book because that's the golden, juicy vision I have. Or, if I have a misunderstanding with someone or something happens and there's some weird vibes or something like that, I just think to myself, are they going to be at my book launch party with me? Like, are they going to be in that area? It's going to be outdoors. Are they going to be in that area, of my nearest and dearest? If they are, then heck yeah, I freaking apologize, or I clear the air, or I do whatever I have to do to like squash it and clear it up. If they're not, then I just let it go because you know what? Like in that moment, it's not going to matter. And this really, I think would go a long way to helping people. Luckily, like I don't have many, if at all, haters. If I do, they keep it to themselves. Like I don't get a lot of mean comments, which is lovely. But if I were to, and I'm sure one day I will, like that's what I'm going to picture in that moment. Are these people going to be at my book launch party? No. So then why does their opinion matter, right? So I think that one goes a long way to helping people. Hopefully it'll help you too. I even went, when it comes to like people not being there, I even went as far as I cut off a situationship a little while ago because A, it was just not going anywhere. And B, because when I pictured myself, champagne flute in my hand, beautiful dress, all my nearest and dearest at my launch party, they were not the kind of person I wanted by my side. So I just said goodbye to them. Like, obviously I didn't tell them that's why, but it worked in that situation too, to kind of cut off a situationship. Like when I tell you this vision literally guides every single thing in my life right now, it does, because I'm working really hard for that vision to come true within a couple of years for sure. So it keeps me really laser focused. A couple of opportunities also came up this summer for me to travel. And yes, they were really, really tempting. And it was really exciting at the time. But my big vision, at least right now, is not me relaxing on a beach. It's me, again, at that book launch party. So I did say no to those things because while they were going to be fun, yes, they were going to take like money, focus, time, energy away from my big goal. And I'm not saying I'm not going to travel or I'm never going to do anything in my life, but for right now, like in this moment, in this season of my life, I'm going to be saying no to things that are not serving that vision of what I want. Even the Illuminate Your Inner Magic Masterclass that I'm hosting at the end of this month. I could literally cover anything my little heart desires. Like I've got total freedom over that thing. But because the book I'm writing right now is focused on building confidence in ourselves and being like really, truly happy with who we are and being comfortable and okay with who we are, that's what the masterclass is going to be about, right? So this vision I have for what I want most, it's always there with me. And I will like almost reason with myself about it. Like if I'm at the grocery store and all I want to do is to go down the junky aisles and fill my basket with like a bunch of chips and candy and stuff like that, I will like argue with myself in my brain saying things like, that's going to make you feel bad and it's going to make you feel sluggish. And at the book launch, I see somebody with, clear skin and bright eyes and who's healthy and fit and thriving. And then I would say like 8 times out of 10, I make the healthy decision. Or like if I don't want to go to bed at a decent time, I'll argue with myself in my head, like, best-selling authors probably go to bed early to rest up so that they function at their most creative level the next day. Those are the kinds of things that I say to myself because that's what I'm envisioning. So that's how I'm choosing to act right now because that's the point I want to get to. Even though, I'm going to eat cake this weekend. It's moderation, right? But that's basically it. The vision of what you want most will guide you. And that's something that I have heard on and off. I read a lot of personal development books. I listen to a lot of personal development podcasts. But it wasn't until I had that very specific book launch party vision that I just realized like the people that will be at that party, hopefully, those are the relationships that matter most in my life. So those became my priority relationships. If I went on a couple dates with somebody and I really wasn't sure, like, yeah, they were perfectly nice. There technically was nothing wrong with them, but I couldn't see them being the person I wanted by my side. No, like then I just wouldn't see them again. Again, working on projects, deciding where to put my attention. This is everything to me, like this vision. And it's, again, not a great name, but like my guiding principle. Like that's it. It's helped me put my priorities in line. And it's really helped me kind of figure out some non-negotiables to me, like eating healthy, going to bed early, getting my rest, focusing on what I want to focus on. So that's it. That's what I got to say on that. Hold your vision. And if you have the luxury of it, because I know I'm very lucky here, say no. Say no to everything that's not going to help you get there. Again, if you have the luxury of saying no to things. And when you do get there, please promise me that you're going to celebrate big time. But in the meantime, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. And again, if you are interested in my confidence building workshop, it's going to be a ton of fun. It's not going to be your average like SWOT analysis, crazy action plan, 50 steps kind of stiff workshop with a bunch of cheesy icebreakers. Nah, none of that. It's going to be really fun. And it's going to be just the way I teach and the way I speak and really just the way I live my life. It's going to be as if I'm inviting you into my living room. We're going to sit down. We're going to have a chat. We're going to have a lot of fun together, learn a lot. Only it's going to be at Table Space Co-working in Osborne. It won't actually be in my living room. And again, tickets are only $44. And you can find the link to learn more and register through the show notes, or you can check it out on my social media, which is where I'm also going to be posting pics of my little Hey Kahla Media birthday party with my mama. And I honestly cannot wait for the day that I'm jumping on this mic again and I'm recapping my book launch party for you. I am very, very excited for that day. And as always, if you have some ideas or anything to add to this convo, feel free to send me a note. You can email me info@heykahla.com. And for anything and everything else, you can head on over to my website, heykahla.com. Thank you so much, as always, for hanging out with me, spending your time with me, and I hope you have the best day.